Everybody is still trying to process everything happening right now, because the moment Sonia Uche finally unveiled her wedding ceremony, it didn't just trend, it exploded into one of those conversations that refuses to calm down. And the reason is very obvious, because this is not just about a wedding, it's about how everything was handled from the beginning to the reveal, the silence before the moment, the elegance during the moment, and the reactions after the moment. All of it combined into one big story that fans cannot stop talking about. And what is even more interesting is how she managed to keep everything so private before now, because in a time where celebrities share almost everything online, she chose a completely different route, and that decision alone has become part of the reason this unveiling feels so powerful, because nobody was overwhelmed with content before the main day. So now every single clip, every single picture feels fresh, feels new, feels exciting, and fans are taking it all in like it's something they've been waiting for without even realizing it. And the first major talking point has been her bridal appearance, because that moment when she stepped out fully dressed, calm, glowing and composed, it instantly set the tone for the entire ceremony, and people started reacting immediately, saying this is one of the most graceful bridal looks they've seen in a long time. Not because it was overly dramatic, but because it carried that soft elegance that doesn't need to shout before it gets noticed. And fans are pointing out how her smile alone carried so much meaning, because it didn't look forced, it didn't look staged, it looked like someone who is genuinely happy. Look for in celebrity weddings, because it helps them separate what feels real from what feels performative, and people began to notice the details in the decoration and setup, because everything looked carefully planned, the color choices, the arrangement, the atmosphere. Nothing felt out of place, and that level of coordination is what made the ceremony look expensive without necessarily trying to prove anything. And fans appreciate that kind of quiet luxury, because it shows intention rather than excess. And then the conversation shifted quickly to the groom, because as expected, people wanted to know everything about the man who captured her heart, and that curiosity has created another layer of discussion, because many people are still trying to gather information, trying to connect dots, trying to understand the story behind their relationship, and the fact that it was kept so private before now is making the curiosity even stronger, because people feel like they are discovering something new in real time. And at the same time, there is a lot of respect coming in for how she handled her personal life, because it takes discipline to stay quiet in an industry where everything is constantly exposed. And now that the moment has finally been revealed, it feels more meaningful, more intentional and more memorable. And fans are also paying attention to the emotional moments captured during the ceremony, because those are the parts that usually stay with people the longest, the interactions with family members, the smiles exchanged, the subtle gestures that show connection, and those moments are what people replay again and again, because they carry a kind of emotion that goes beyond just visuals. And you can already see comments where fans are saying they felt something just watching those clips, and that is what makes a wedding truly impactful, when people who were not even there can still feel the emotion through their screens. And then the Nollywood community started reacting, which added another layer of validation to the whole event, because when colleagues, co-stars and industry insiders start celebrating you, it shows that the moment is not just trending among fans, but also being recognized within the professional space. And different actors and actresses have been reposting, congratulating and showing support, which is helping to push the story even further across different platforms. And then the fashion conversation started gaining momentum, because every major event like this always comes with style analysis, and this one is no exception. People are already discussing the outfits worn by guests, pointing out their favorites, debating who stood out the most, and turning the wedding into a full fashion moment as well. And that's how you know the event has truly captured attention, when it expands beyond just the main couple and becomes a wider cultural conversation. And bloggers are also playing a big role in keeping this trend alive, because different creators are approaching the story from different angles, some focusing on the love story, others focusing on the secrecy, others focusing on the elegance, and each angle is attracting its own audience, which keeps the discussion going without getting repetitive. And fans are also connecting this moment to her acting career, because they see this as a turning point, a transition into a new phase where her roles might start reflecting more maturity and depth, and considering how she already has a strong emotional presence on screen. Many believe that this real-life experience will only enhance her performances and make her even more relatable to audiences. And then there is the ongoing debate about how marriage might affect her career trajectory, because while some people believe she might slow down, others are convinced that this could actually push her to aim higher and take on bigger projects. And that conversation alone is creating engagement, because everyone has their own perspective.